Since I was 7 years old, my dream has been to be a world champion athlete. My hero at the time was Nadia Comaneci, who I watched on TV score the first perfect 10 in women's gymnastics. I wanted to be her. Today, my dream is still alive. What is it that makes a hero, and can my dream come true? The following year, when I was 8, I saw a made-for-TV movie about the life of Wilma Rudolph, who at a young age contracted infantile paralysis from polio and was told she would never walk without corrective braces. Not only did she go on to walk normally, but win 3 Olympic gold medals in track and field. Now I had 2 heroes. For 10 years, I chased my childhood dream. I was a professional whitewater kayaker and lived a nomadic life following summer and the rivers of the world, hoping to win the freestyle kayaking world championships. The closest I ever came was 5th in the world, and 5 years ago, my fire burnt out and I walked away from my dream. In the middle of my kayaking career, I got invited on a National Geographic sea kayaking expedition in Vietnam. My main role was to look after the non-swimming, non-kayaking interpreter and to assist the film crew. I mentioned an idea I had to make a film about nomadic women kayakers to the National Geographic filmmaker, and he was very encouraging. So being basically naive and having no filmmaking experience, I bought a video camera with my Visa card and set out to make my first movie. Needless to say, it took a while, and 6 years later, I finished Nomads, which I funded myself through teaching kayaking. Nomads went on to be the official selection in over 30 international film festivals and won half a dozen awards. Nomads tells the story of 3 women I knew from kayaking who were paddling on the White Nile River in Uganda and decide they can give back to the village they are staying in. Dr. Jessie Stone is the primary character who, through her own fundraising, built a rural clinic, does malaria education and prevention, and family planning education. I returned to Uganda last year to make a follow-up film on Dr. Jessie Stone's humanitarian work. To date, she has sold over 100,000 mosquito nets and educated over 30,000 Ugandans about malaria, and her clinic is thriving. Jessie is a huge inspiration in that not only did she realize she could make a difference, she was also combining it with her passion for kayaking and having a good time doing it. The success of Nomads led to my first video job. I got asked to be a primary videographer for the Blue Planet Run, the first ever 24-hour-a-day around-the-world relay, raising awareness and funds for safe drinking water in third world countries. The run went non-stop for 95 days and nights, covering over 15,000 miles overland through 16 countries. Thoroughly exhausted from the Blue Planet Run and needing a home base after years of constant travel, I moved to Gisborne, New Zealand. I needed balance and wanted to see what the rest of life had to offer. I started my production company, Flare Films, learned how to surf, rekindled oil painting again, began a regular yoga practice, cycled, and started selling my kayaking gear. Over this past New Year's, an old friend of mine from kayaking came to visit me and go surfing. He started talking about kayaking in the last World Championships and offhandedly said, "Polly, you know, if you started training again, I think you could be in the top 10 in the world." And I said, if I start training again, I don't want to be in the top 10. I want to win. Shortly after my friend's visit, I went on a 10-day Vipassana meditation course. That course was the hardest and best thing I have ever done. Sitting in silent meditation for 11 hours a day gave me a lot of time to reflect on my life and what I wanted to do with it. My childhood dream came back, and call it divine inspiration, but I knew I had to go for it one last time. I committed to start training again, setting my sights on winning the 2011 World Freestyle Kayaking Championships. Going within on the meditation course relit my inner fire, and I decided if I was going to achieve my childhood dream, it was now or never. This time around is not just about winning a gold medal, but about being the best person I can be at the same time. I have also decided to make a documentary about my journey, in the hopes that what I discover along the way will help other people on their path. Making the film and going for my dream feel like something I have to do. I really can't explain why. I have felt the fear of failure, which isn't going to stop me, and I'm facing it head on, and I also know I can't do it alone. The last time around, going for my dream, I think I was coming from a place of needing to prove something. It felt very ego-driven and external. This time, I want it to be different. It isn't about proving to the world that I can win, but about fulfilling this deep-seated childhood dream and doing it in a way that is balanced with the intention of inspiring others to go for their dreams. The reason behind making my new documentary, which is called A Fire Within, stemmed from audiences' reactions to my other films. People who want to make a difference but don't know how. What I realized meditating is that true change can only come from within, and making a difference can happen in our own backyard. So I am trying to be that change. Some examples of positive change that I am consciously incorporating in my life are living with integrity and forgiveness, giving someone a smile, being nice to my grocery clerk, and pursuing what brings me joy. I notice when I am happy and positive, it rubs off, and that's the person I want to be in the world. The whole reason I started my production company was to tell stories about inspiring people doing positive things in the world. Our world is full of modern-day heroes, and I want to tell their stories. The impact seeing Nadia Comaneci scoring the first perfect 10 and seeing Wilma Rudolph's story on TV when I was 8 years old changed my life, and I'm hoping maybe my films can do that for someone else. I have also become a mentor for the My Hero Project, a nonprofit organization whose mission is to use media and technology to celebrate the best of humanity and empower young people to realize their own potential to affect positive change in the world. I attended the My Hero Film Festival in LA and came away so inspired. I knew this was a project I wanted to be involved in. I feel extremely lucky to have had all the experiences I have had, and I also value the true grit and inspiring determination of my heroes, Wilma Rudolph and Nadia Comaneci, who paved the way before me. Living the life I have chosen isn't always easy, but I know I am following my passion and want to die knowing I gave it my best shot. I have chosen to live my life beating to my own drummer, and will end with a quote from Abraham Hicks, who says, "Do I have a responsibility to make the whole world beat to my drum? No, nor could you. You beat your drum, and the universe will respond to the drum you are beating." Thank you very much.